Alright guys, we're gonna try this again. I was having a little difficulties. I'm trying to get this going here for you guys. Alright, you see this gentleman right here? Yeah, we see half of his face, so let's give it a chance for a minute. But anyway, I'm dropping this video because it is once again, it isn't a bunch of knowledge. It's something that I think we all need to hear, and then that way you can decipher it. You can take out what you believe, and you can throw away what you don't believe, but it still need to be heard. Again, and this is another topic that's going to be coming up on the radio station, and that radio station is Earlene Show 2017 Wise Talk. Okay, and the number for the show, my call-in guest to call in and put your opinions in on what this video you're about to see is 516-387-1496. Y'all come on the show and then voice your opinion, what you think about what this gentleman is talking about here. All right, this is one of Trump's plans, and you got some 569,150 views. So that's got to be important, pretty much important, right? I think it's something to be talked about, to be discussed. It's something we need to know. Okay, so go ahead and check out the video. And again, I'm not gonna come back and discuss too much of it, because I do most of my discussions and elaborations and opinions, feelings of thoughts and stuff like that on the radio show. Again, the radio show is 516-387-1496. It's the Earlene Show 2017. I'm going to piggyback off of this guy here, what he's talking about. Then we go to the talk show station and we talk about it. All right? We keep it prayed up as well. Y'all check this out, what he's saying.
I figure if I ask enough people, maybe I'll get the answer. You know, I'm gonna have that moment when I get the answer to the question, what are we doing there? What do we want? And I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to know exactly. There's so many different objectives and plans. I think I think there's definitely something sort of religious based that they want to control that area as well. But in general, the people who control the U.S. government also control the UK. They control Israel. They control Russia. They control China. So all these sort of like they're going to go to war or whatever. It's all a show, and this has been the same show now for decades. And if you look at all these wars, just look at every U.S. war that the U.S. has been involved in. It's all been based on lies. It's all been based on false flag attacks. You look at even World War II. They wanted to get into that war so bad. Now it was actually, you brought up Hitler. He was actually financed by the Bush crime family. They're all the same people. They back both sides, and they create all these things. They love war. They're very satanic. They love to see a lot of people die. They love to see people killing themselves, because they're not actually killing them, right? They're not actually sitting there with the gun. They love the fact that they can make people do it to themselves through their propaganda and fear and all that sort of stuff. So you look at World War II, and they wanted to get the U.S. into that war so bad, so they cut off the oil supplies to Japan, and Japan has no oil whatsoever. They had a few days left, and it left them really no choice but to attack Pearl Harbor. They knew it was coming. They didn't do anything about it. They let it happen. Then they went, oh, look, they attacked us. Now we're in. And they went and attacked everything, of course. You look at Vietnam. That was the Gulf of Tonkin false flag attack, where they said their ship was attacked by the Vietnamese. It was actually attacked by themselves. Even that was all admitted. This is like stuff you can just look up. It's actual factual like documents from the government saying that they did this. Then of course after that you have 9/11. That was a false flag attack to start the War of Terror. It was like a few weeks after that General Wesley Clark was called into the Pentagon, and he was shown a piece of paper showing 7 countries they wanted to attack and occupy and destroy in the next 5 years. On that piece of paper was Iraq, of course. Then there was Syria. Then there was Libya. Are these ringing any bells? Yeah, this is all on YouTube. You can look it up. He talked about this. Then, of course, after that was Sudan, Lebanon, one other, and Iran. Iran's the big one. That's the last one. They keep, if you look at the amount of U.S. military bases surrounding Iran, and Iran as a country has never attacked another country for centuries, and the U.S. government is attacking countries daily, and they're saying, oh, Iran's the bad guy. Well, it's all lies. It's all propaganda. It's all to essentially take over everything. For example, Libya, when they attacked Libya didn't have a central bank. That's the main reason. And Gaddafi wanted to start a gold-backed African currency, which goes against the central banks. The central banksters are the ones who really control all this stuff. So that's why they destroyed Libya. And Iran doesn't have a central bank, and Iran doesn't want to use the dollar. I think they just stopped using the dollar. So that's what happened with Iraq. That's what Saddam Hussein wanted to stop using the dollar. He wanted to start using euros for oil. Killed, hung Gaddafi. Wanted to start a gold-backed African currency. He was raped in the streets while Hillary Clinton cackled. We came, we saw, he died. These people are like satanic, sociopathic, evil people, and they're just trying to take over everything, destroy everything. We just have to stop them.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I got to say something here. Right here on the program that bears my name, I've had some pretty strong opinions about things, but I begin to question the passion behind some of these opinions, because it's one thing to say nothing is really as it appears. That's a cutesy little catchy slogan. The problem is when it appears to be absolutely true, that you cannot believe anything you see. It's the damnedest thing, like Pompeo and Trump. Notice I called him Trump instead of Mr. Trump, because I'm mad at him right now, because I'm wondering what's going on. I don't know if he's been compromised. I thought he loved the country, and all of that. I would really hate to think that he's just one of them in a different suit. I really would. It's going to take the fall for trying to do all of these things, whether it's a travel restriction or a border wall, and then have these judges just stop him. How can a judge legislate from the bench? Well, they do it all the time, it appears. But now Pompeo and okay, Mr. Trump, I'm not ready to turn on him yet. They were all about WikiLeaks and getting this information out there, and now they've gone the other. Pompeo at least has gone the other way. The CIA director, he's like, no, this is not working. Well, before he was all right with it, and as you were talking there, I never really cared for Wesley Clark, General Clark. I thought, what are you doing? Well, I think more of him with every passing day now. So it's just really, a human being is compelled to make a decision based on the best information at the time. And their decision may be a good decision or maybe a bad decision. So there are a number of components here at play. But I'll tell you, you got to be prepared to change gears and change your mind about stuff. You cannot get a set and just stick with it. And we talk about this all the time, but honestly, talking about it all the time, I still have to fight it myself. It's not a done deal in my consciousness, if you will, that yes, I've listened to these brilliant people talk about how we should think about things and how we should observe, but it's like sin, You can believe in the Lord, you can be a Christian, you can do all that, but you will have a daily ongoing battle against drifting away from that all the time, and you just cannot decide that things are a certain way. That's just how it is, because it's liable to 15 minutes. You don't know where you're going to be 15 minutes from now in your thinking, if it's flexible at all.
Yeah, on that note, I've personally, I change almost daily. I've just realized, I talk about this stuff a lot. It's kind of funny that I'm just realizing it, but pretty much everything we've been told is a lie. Everything. This goes way beyond government stuff. Moon landings. That's just look into that for like 10 minutes. Like what really happened? There's no way they went to the moon. Everything's a lie. Absolutely everything. Everything we've been taught. And of course, who are we taught by? The government, and 12 years of government indoctrination camps. What a surprise. They're teaching us all propaganda and all wrong information about history and who are the good guys and who are the bad guys. It goes way beyond all this, and it actually, talking about changing, just realizing about yourself even, that's what I've been getting actually introspective now. I've started to realize all the stuff about the outside world, and now I'm like, okay, now I got to change stuff about the inside, because even that's screwed up because of all the things that I've kind of been subject to in my lifetime, just being born and then immediately having half the skin of my penis chopped off in some sort of crazy genital mutilation ritual called circumcision, which causes a massive amount of trauma trauma to the kid. They do this on purpose, all this stuff, just looking into the backing of everything. So basically, George Carlin, one of the best comedians in my opinion ever, one of his big things was, I don't believe a thing the government, and I think he said the media, but if he didn't, he should have said the media tells me. And I used to laugh at it because it was funny, because it was true, but I didn't realize how true it was. Everything we've been told is a lie. We have to really reassess everything that we've ever thought and why we thought that, and then go back to, okay, why did we think that? Were we acting on the correct information? And thanks to the internet, a lot of information is getting out, a lot of what people call truth. And now it's kind of funny that they call it truthers, like that's a derogatory term. It's like, oh, you're just a truther, you just believe in truth. It's like, yeah, kind of. I didn't know that was a bad thing, but a lot of truth is coming out now. And so you just have to reanalyze everything and what you really believe in. So, for example, with yourself, I don't know you that well. I don't know anything really about your background or anything. But it sounds like you kind of had some hope for Trump. It kind of sounds like you're what someone would call an American patriot. You have to reanalyze what even was the U.S. That was really, in my opinion, a coup, takeover from the England, but it also got retaken over by England. It's still all owned by the London banksters, in my opinion. But you're trained in your schools about the founding fathers like it's some weird cult, and it really is a cult. That's why you do your Pledge of Allegiance for every day as a kid. That's on purpose. Vladimir Lenin said, "Give me your child for 4 years. The seed I'll plant will never be uprooted." They got him for 12 in the U.S. and just doing their Pledge of Allegiance, and they got the president's photo up on the wall, and oh, he's great, just like in North Korea, just like with little Kim in North Korea. He's great. He's going to protect us. You have to just reanalyze and rethink everything. And I'll tell you, I've been going down this rabbit hole for a number of years, and I keep going down, and it just keeps going further and further and gets crazier and crazier. But just reanalyze and reassess everything. And yeah, I said that recently in a blog I wrote. I said, if someone changes their mind on something they had a very serious opinion on, based on new information or information they did not have before, that's something to be highly commended. People who do that are people you can kind of look at and go, okay, he's actually rational, he's using his brain, he's thinking, he's open to changing his mind if he gets new information he did not have before. Those are the kind of people you want to hang around. It's the people who just believe dogmatically everything they've been told their whole life and never consider that there could be something else going on. Those are the kind of dangerous people, and unfortunately that's the majority of people in the world today.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was just flashed back to high school and the Vietnam era. I've been complaining about this recently. First, as children, we had to listen to the sonic booms overhead until the cows gave it up, and then they went, well, we better stop that because the dairy farmers were bitching. And then so we hide under your desks, kiddies. If the A-bomb goes off, you'll be safe. Yeah, sure you will. And then after that, we had Vietnam to look forward to. And I'm thinking, I'm 15 years old, being instructed by a Green Beret Master Sergeant on how to cut people's heads off with whatever was handy, like a piano wire and improvise. I mean, we were learning about improvised explosives, reading Army manuals, how to build all this stuff, and field survival techniques and everything. And I wondered and that music, man, that was new back then. It's like oldie stuff now, but you play it now, and I put myself back in those days, that atmosphere of this music, that as if, Bob Dylan just did such a brilliant dissertation on this about rock and roll. It was chrome, man. It was like it was delivered by an A-bomb, and Dylan, he's just me, you know what I mean? That's what he said. I'm just me. But he said that music, the atmosphere in that world, it was fear. Everything could end tomorrow. Everything could end. And I think to myself, why would you want to inflict this head trip on an entire world? What is wrong with you? And I got to tell you, Jeff, this is why I literally flee. This isn't church. But I flee to the stronghold, which is the Lord and the Bible. Because you read the Bible, you find it's been like this all the way back to when the book was written. Absolutely nothing has changed. Just the weapons have gotten more effective. But even that's not true. You can't get deader than dead, whether it's a sword or whether it's an A-bomb. So these human beings are a wacky bunch. They really are. And these families, these sovereigns, these majestic goblin kings and queens that just wander around messing with everybody, I'm not sure they can ever be dislodged or shifted. This guy, this Austrian president I mentioned earlier, his name is Alexander Van der Bellen, and he did this thing. He is the far left guy, and he declared, oh, they said it was a campaign prank kind of, but anyone who loves Austria must be SHIT, must be, but he really means it. He hates his country. He hates the idea of borders. He is an insane Marxist. He really is. However, out of about 5 million votes, he squeaked by with an additional 30,000. So he won the popular vote, and he won the vote by ballot as well. So, how do you govern a world where people are literally split almost exactly 50-50 on the way things should run?
Well, that's the thing. You can't govern the world. We got to get rid of government. People are only dangerous when they have things like government and have that, the extortion and taxes, that billions of dollars that they can use to do and make people do what they want them to do. Without that, it'd just be people. And I don't know about you, John, but like when I traveled the world, everyone seems pretty nice. Like everywhere. I've been in the Middle East. I've been in Jordan. I've been in Qatar. I've been in so many places over there. Everyone seemed really nice. Maybe some of them aren't very nice. I don't know, but they seemed really nice. They didn't seem to want to do anything to me. I didn't really want to do anything to them. We wanted to trade a little bit. I wanted maybe some, alcohol or something. They wanted some money. Great, good deal. But it's when you have this sort of this super collectivism. That's the danger. That's what causes all these problems. So all the problems in the world today, and all the problems, and you said this goes all the way back to the Bible. Every single problem has been with government. Look at Rome. Like, what happened to Jesus, right? That was the government killed him. This has always been the problem. And look who Jesus, the only time he got angry was with the money changers. What's that? The central banks, the people who create the money and control the money and lend it out to you at interest rates, and it's all debt. Those are the only people Jesus ever got mad at. So get rid of the governments, get rid of the central banks, and we have peace and prosperity on earth like we never know it. Now, how we get there is a long, hard story because so many people are just so confused. But as I pointed out with what's happening with Trump, a lot of people are looking for answers right now. And some of the answers are just things like Bitcoin. A lot of people don't understand Bitcoin, but it's a non-central bank currency that can be used. You can pretty much, no one can stop it. No one can seize it. You can actually hold it all in your own brain just by remembering your password. So it's a perfect money. It's not inflated like central bank money, so you can't use it to finance wars or anything like that. Just little things like that can actually shift the world, and it's actually happening in certain ways. And things like the internet are the big one. That's what's really given us this opportunity. Before this, we had no hope. I would have never known 99% of everything I know right now.
All right, guys, so you heard it there. That's what we're going to be talking about on the show, okay? We're going to be elaborating, putting our opinions in and stuff like that. I want you guys to come on the show and just come on the show and voice your opinions. Let us all know what you think on this take right here. Basically, to sum it all up, we're discussing the government and people's opinions about what's going on. And you know what I'm talking about. It's so much. So we're going to try to cover as much as we can. We have 2 hours to do so. Come on the show, 516-387-1496. Let's just hear your take on what's happening with your government. Okay, anything you say on that topic is just fine with us. We'll let you speak and say what you have to say, okay? In other words, I also dropped the video for you guys to check out stuff like this. These are guys that know what they're talking about. Like I said, you decipher. You watch it and you decipher. See if what you've heard is what you think is true. And then, but also do your research. Do your research before you come on the show. Okay, you guys? 516-387-1496 is the call-in number for my guests on the Earlene Show. You call that number from 9 o'clock p.m. to 11 o'clock p.m. and I, your host, Earlene Robinson, will hear you there. Thank you guys so much. Stay prayed up and watch them children. Keep our eye on them babies. And I'll hear you on the talk show. Good night, all.